You're listening to Titans of the Trades. I'm your host, Ryan England, author of Hire Better People Faster and creator of the CoreFit hiring system, a proven process to help growing companies attract and retain only the best. I'm on a mission to revolutionize the perception of the trades and elevate it to new heights. After growing up in a blue-collar family, my passion for making the trades cool again runs deep. If you're a titan in the industry and want to be on my show, stick around until the end and I'll reveal how you can be my next guest. I'm your host, Ryan England, and in today's episode, I sit down with Kristen Scutella of Comfort Systems. Now, there's a couple of topics that we're going to talk about today. One in particular is what we can do to solve the labor crisis. But more importantly than that, I wanted her to share her story, what she's gone through, what she's accomplished, and what is happening over at one of the largest contracting companies that most of us have never heard of. And they really are one of the best kept secrets of the industry, and we're hoping to change that. So listen to her story. There's some great tips in here and some things that you can learn from a company that has tens of thousands of employees who are making the things happen that we all know we need to start doing. Kristen, welcome to the show.
Hi, Brian. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. I know you're a little under the weather, so thank you for being here. I know that you're going to bring just some amazing insights and value to our listeners. Gosh, you and I met probably 8 months ago, maybe even close to a year ago. And we were just talking about this, but I'd never heard of your company before, even though you guys are huge. I've been in the space. So I'd love for you to just take 30 seconds, tell our listeners who you are, what your role is. And then when you're done with that, you see a lot going on in the trades right now because of just the volume of people that are in the brands that you help manage. I would love for any insights you have, anything you'd love to share with our listeners about what's going on in the marketplace right now, especially when it comes to attracting and keeping great employees.
Yes. It's Kristen Scutella. I am with Comfort Systems USA. I've done it for 13 years. And my role here is a service vice president, regional service vice president. And my territory runs from the Washington, D.C. area down to Florida, over to the Kentucky area and back up. There are several of our companies that are located in that area. If you were to pull up a Comfort Systems map, a strong portion of those companies are all in that southeast Atlantic coast area.
Okay. And you had told me you probably have about 5,000 people that are within the brands that you help manage. And so I imagine you see a lot of things going on right there. You see things that are working, maybe things that aren't working. What can you share with us about what you're seeing in your region that is helping Comfort Systems in particular overcome some of the labor challenges that so many people are talking about?
Yeah, we're seeing the labor challenges as well. There is a gap in terms of having enough people out there for the jobs we need. Business is really good, which is a good thing, but you have to have the people execute it. But you also, this is kind of a double-edged sword for us, but I think it's unique. You need to have the people to execute, but you need to have the people to do it safely. Mm-hmm. So that means you have to pay attention to how long do you have them working on projects to get them done as they're out there, whether it's on construction or service work. So you can't just throw people in all the time or just take what you got and work them to that. Yeah. So there's a delicate balance there that you have to do. But because we recognize that, that's helped us. Because culturally, it's telling the people we care about who you are. And I wouldn't say it's fixed the labor problem for us. It is not, but it has helped. Our talent director always tells me people leave companies a lot of times for money, but they'll stay for a culture. Yeah. And so, when you have a CEO that states things like people are before profits, that develops a culture from which people want to stay. And I do think that that's helped us. Like, it hasn't fixed the problem, but it does help that we can retain um, a lot of our people because of that culture that we build.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I got to see some of that with one of your brands
Yeah,
earlier this year, and just the how well people were connected and the relationships that were built just in the. I mean, I was only there a day, but I know you guys had a couple of days. It's just I saw such a great emphasis on culture, and it's one of the things that we talk a lot about at Core Matters. In fact, we believe that your culture exists within the core of your company. Like it's central to everything. And if you don't have a good
but
culture and you're not intentional about it, then all the other stuff is just you chasing as fast as you can, hoping that someone sticks around or doesn't leave for another dollar or two more an hour.
that's right. When we were preparing for this podcast, Ryan, you kind of asked the question in one of your emails or something that said, "Tell me a little bit about your journey." As
Mm.
I was thinking about that, a light bulb kind of went off in my head as to why um, what I do here at Comfort is so important and why it's important to a lot of people that work here and why I like working here. I started out like any other person who's graduated from college because you should go to college, and you should if you can or you want, but there's other options out there. And I came out, and guess what? After a few years, wellness, I lost my job
Mm.
because I happened to be in a manufacturing type facility, and that manufacturing went away, and I lost my job. And so I went to another company, and guess what? I lost my job again
Oh.
because that was restructured and the economy dipped. And all of a sudden I kept sitting there going, I have got to get in something that I'm not going to keep losing my job. Then I looked into the, HVAC, electrical plumbing space, but I was on the innovation and manufacturing side of that, a little bit of service. And again, restructured. Economy took a dip, they restructured. And although I didn't lose my job, I ended up getting put in a different area again. And I realized that the most recession-proof jobs out there are the trades.
Yeah.
It's the trades. It really is. And I loaned into this company because that's what we do. We're a service organization. Yes, we have construction too, but that's service. We're building things and
Mm-hmm.
then we're servicing them. And it's our people that do that. And you're always going to, even when in the recession, when things go bad, if the economy goes bad, so you can't be building things that's going to have to repair them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you always need the trades. And it just suddenly dawned on me when I was thinking about that journey of where I've come, of how important the skilled trades are and how important it is for us as leaders to really invest in that. And so that's a little bit of what we're trying to do. And I feel very, very strongly about what Comfort Systems has done because they have really built this business. I mean, I remember when I first came over here, stocks were in just a couple digit figures, and now, it's in triple
Mm.
digit figures. But that growth has been reinvested into the people. It's very evident when you do that.
Well,
It was, to me, it's so important that we do that because, again, this is a recession-proof industry if you do it
yeah.
right.
Absolutely. I agree with all of that. Someone once told me, they're like, your air conditioner does not know there's a recession going on right now. So if it
Exactly.
breaks, like you're going to choose no air conditioner or go get it fixed. People may not be doing the one with all the bells and whistles, but they're definitely going to get it fixed to get them till
Yeah,
the next chance.
we're kind of hampered in that way if you think about it. We're not going to go without heating and air, electricity, or running water for toilets.
Yep.
We just won't do it. And we're have your power off for a while and see how you act.
Yeah.
So you're always going to need people to service those things, and that's how important the trades are um, all over the world, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to share something too that our listeners may not know. Uh, the reason that you and I met is one of your brands invited me out to speak and to train hiring managers on how to do better interviews, how to connect and engage with new employees more quickly and more deeply. And so, what Kristen's talking about is not just theory, right? Comfort
Right.
systems and their brands are actually putting their money where the mouth is and doing these things because um, I think if you're in the trades, you just love the trades. But what Comfort Systems is doing is really spending the time to build these solid cultures and create opportunities for so many people. And I think one of the things, Kristen, I want to bring this up because I know this is important to you. Uh, One of the things you're passionate about and helping solve the labor crisis with the trades, this issue that we have is no longer alienating 50% of the population, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about what your ideas are there, or some of the things that you've seen work in that space. And I mean, you've got a great career getting into the trades, so clearly it can be done. So let's talk about bringing women into the trades and getting them more involved in this.
It is. I think it's super important. Why? Because we can bring a different perspective. I think it's really great, and it's probably the basis of why diversity is so important. It's just people think of things differently, and women can bring a perspective to the trades um, that really can help it. And that's in my experience. And I thoroughly enjoy working with all the people that I do. I love bouncing ideas off of other gentlemen that I work with. Wayne, and Wayne's one of my sounding boards to talk to because of that. And I like that whole atmosphere. I just want to get that word out to women that this is not a man's profession at all. This is very much a female profession as well. It really is. But it's a great profession. There are times when I keep bouncing back to getting my HVAC certification because I want to go out there and kind of turn wrenches too.
Yeah.
Just because it's so satisfying to fix something for somebody.
Well,
And
and I
that's
think
really what it comes down to is you're solving a problem for somebody, and that is so fulfilling.
Well, and
To,
that's one of the things I really enjoy about the trades is, and this isn't the evil kind of pride, but there is just a sense of pride in the work and being able to accomplish things. You can go to work, you can go to one job site and in a couple hours change people's lives for the rest of the month
yeah,
because all of a sudden that toilet got unclogged or that air conditioning is working again or the heat's on in the winter. And the not just the amount of appreciation, but the joy we can bring to people in the trades is incredible. Because,
it
like you
is.
said, we won't live without those things. We will figure them out. Um, and one of the things that I've seen too is there's this, it's wrong. There's this misperception that, oh, you got to be big, you got to be strong to be in the trades. And so a lot of women I've heard just look away from it and say, well, I'm not big, I'm not strong. And some of the women that I've seen in the trades, the tiniest little things, but they're able to accomplish so much more. They move faster, they get into spaces the men can't get into. Like there's just so many advantages
Yeah.
depending on the job site. So we need to, as an industry, start sharing this that there's so much opportunity for women. And I'd love to know, what are you seeing over in Comfort Systems just across the brands or even in one in particular? Do you have any good stories of women that have come in, not known a whole lot, entry level, and you've just seen them work their way up in their career?
Um, well, I've been one of those that came into the organization. Just learning the dispatching and invoicing all that executing service and worked our way up to the organization. I find a lot of women that come into this business, they are really, really good at the customer facing
Oh yeah,
opportunities that we have. There, maybe
definitely.
it's the nurturing side of us um, that we can listen and talk through problems. I do know that we have been a lot more successful. Not as successful as we like, but we are tracking that we're hiring more women technicians. And I know when I was covering the Nashville area, I think she's ended up moving on because she got greater opportunities. But our best tech over there that was the most wanted by our customers was a female tech. And it's because of her communication skills.
Yeah.
And she was really, really good at communicating. We introduced a new program that we're trying to grow our own technicians, if you will, to help deal with the labor shortage. And we're fully people that have never been in the trades. They just had a great work ethic and the desire to work. And we're going to train them and set a development path. And we just graduated our first class. So we're very proud to have, a female in that class, and she did very well.
I love it.
So I'm hoping we will attract more. But we're opening it up, to your point, not alienating 50% of the population. We're not even, we've hired a company to go out and just open it up to anybody.
Mm.
And they have a 5-star scoring system for which they're looking for people who have what we call the right behaviors and attitudes. Yeah. We can teach the rest of it.
Of course.
I mean, we've got a lot of great knowledge in this company, and we can teach that, and we can leverage that. And if we focus on getting the right people and then putting mentorship programs together, we'll go a lot of places. It didn't still not to answer your question about bringing it, success stories of females. That's still a work in progress, Ryan. We'll get there. But now we've got more and more females that are, becoming technicians in all aspects.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many females we had on the construction side as far as superintendents go. That might be an area of opportunity for us. Mm-hmm. But on the service side of the business, we're getting more and more females in all different roles within the organization, which is great.
And I think it's awesome that you're not even just being intentional about the company culture and really way to treat people and invest in people, but you're also saying, hey, we're going to open up opportunities for other people who maybe haven't normally had opportunities in the trades because of various reasons that we don't need to get into on this podcast. We all know what those are. But just creating these opportunities for women to come into the trades, I think is amazing. I think that is the fastest, best way to solve the labor crisis is to not just make it a man's game. And yes, it's going to take a while to get there. I know it is.
But, it is. And we need, I say that, and that we need as women to understand that too. Meaning, there's no reason why I haven't had anybody at Comfort Systems put up a roadblock for me as a woman at all. So it's just the perception.
Absolutely. Perception's reality, though, is it not?
Yeah, it can be. But my message, I think, to all women out there is if you want to go get it, and you'll find the right company will help you soar. And this is a really good industry to be in if you do want that opportunity, because it is, like I said, it's recession-proof. And my journey led me here, and I'm grateful every day for it because it's provided me some really good opportunities. And every time I drive through town, when I land in the Charlotte airport, I'm headed home and I can drive through and see anything, but think, we impacted some of these buildings around here. Or we impacted this, whether it's in service or construction or something. Our fingerprints are somewhere. And that's pretty cool when you think about it.
The pride in the work and the things that you accomplish in the trades. I mean, that's one of my favorite parts about it. It's just, I do it all the time. I'll visit a city and I'll ride with someone that we work with and like, yep, we built that. Yep, we repaired that. Yep. And I'm just like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And just seeing their fingerprints on so many different pieces of infrastructure in this country is, I just think it's one of the coolest parts of being in the trades. Kristen, this isn't awesome. Can you tell me, how do people learn a little bit more about you or get a hold of you at Comfort Systems or what's that opportunity there? Because I know we want to get some exposure for a company that's so big that most people have never heard of.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm obviously on LinkedIn. There's Cohen's Kristen Scutella on LinkedIn and message me there. But I'm I'm an open book, Ryan. You can always email me as well at Kristen Scutella at comfortsystemsusa.com. It's a long email, but it's our company name, comfortsystemsusa.com.
Yeah.
But you can always call the corporate number too. And, Selena down there, she monitors everything and she knows everybody. That's what I love about the company. You think as big as we are, you lose track. Oh, she still knows everybody and she'll send the messages through where they need to be. So
That's
we
awesome.
still have that down home family feel.
And we'll make sure to get a link to your LinkedIn in the bio and to Comfort Systems, or in the show notes, so that anybody listening right now can connect with you and just even learn more about what you guys are doing over there, because you're doing some really cool stuff. So, Kristen, thank you so much for being on the show. I've really enjoyed this, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yes, thank you for inviting me, Ryan.
Ryan England here. Thank you so much for listening to Titans of the Trades. If you're a titan in the construction, manufacturing, or skilled trades industry and would like to be a guest on my show, please visit podcast.corematters.com. If you found value in this interview, would you share this episode on social media? Just do a quick screenshot on your phone and share it with a friend or post it on social. And if you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag Titans of the Trades. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, click the subscribe button. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show and get me one step closer to solving the labor crisis facing the industry. Want to know more about how we're doing that? Go to our website or follow me on LinkedIn. Thanks for listening.